Oh, guys, can you move, please? Come on. Okay, so starting on hands and knees, fingers on the floor, fingers facing away, palms down, and all we're going to do, nice big circles, leaning nice and far forward. So if I'm in this position, okay, I'm leaning over the front, rolling around, nice big circles. Get a nice stretch up the back, squeeze the front, but try not to put too much weight down onto your hands. Okay, so take the weight through your knees. We're making nice big circles in one direction. Try to get your hands gripping the floor as you come round and over the front. Okay, and one more in this direction, and then we're going to change direction. Good, and then changing direction, coming all the way around. Get a nice squeeze in the front and a stretch up the back if you can. Okay, remember, try not to put too much weight on it, but as you get stronger in your wrists, you can add more weight, leaning over it, building that strength in that whole range of motion. Good job, keep going. Okay, and one more in this direction. Good, and then we're going to put our hands, both fingers pointing out, heels of our hands together, so they're together like a, I don't know, walrus feet sticking out. And then we're just going to rock side to side, like little flippers. Yeah, good, just rocking side to side. Again, grip with those fingers as you rock over that hand. Nice work. Only go until it feel a little bit of a stretch. If it hurts, don't go as far.
And you can get them together.
That's all right. Just go as far as you can get them. And if you just put all your weight through your knees, if you can't get them flat on the floor, get them up as high as you can, and then just rocking. Okay, and one more in each direction, on each side. And then we're going to turn our hands the other way up, so our palms are facing up, fingers facing in the middle. Why is it so dark in this room? Let me try to turn this light on, see if that makes a difference. I doubt it makes a difference. Okay, so our fingers, no, not really. Fingers facing into the middle. Arms as straight as you can get them, and then we're going to bend, clench those fingers. So we're squeezing those fingers in and out.
Oh, that way.
Yeah, so there, look, see, now it's so bright when I get nice and close. It's because it likes me nice and close. So our fingers facing in, palms up, and then we're squeezing those fingers, trying to keep those arms as straight as you can, trying to bend that thumb. Okay, the thumb is often the hardest one to bend. That one gives you a good bit of cramp all the way up your forearm on the inside. Trying to bend the tops of your thumbs, good. Keep working slowly, clenching and unclenching those fingers. Nice work. No, please don't go and bark at the postman. Okay, and a couple more. Nice work. And then we're going to take our hands into two fists. Okay, thumbs on the outside of your fingers. Knuckles onto the floor, and we're going to roll forwards and backwards. So we're rolling forwards, get a stretch up the front side of your wrist, and then you're rolling that wrist backwards. This time you want to put a little bit of weight into it, but not too much.
Where are your thumbs?
Okay, so thumbs are on the inside of my hands. Like that.
Okay.
All right. So we're here, and our knuckles are in the floor, knuckles pointing out, and then we're rolling onto the top of our hands, and then we're rolling back onto the bottom of our hands. Okay, so we're rolling onto our thumb and our index finger, and then we're rolling over onto our little finger. Just trying to get that movement in that wrist in all the directions it's supposed to move in. Good job. And 2 more in each direction. Okay, and then taking our hands, fingers facing up. Okay, we're going to just take our hands facing down, all the way up, all the way down. Okay, just want to give our forearms a little bit of a workout, really pulling the backs of your hands up towards you and then down, pulling the palm of your hands towards you as well. Nice work. And 1 more in each direction. Okay, and then we're going to just do some big circles, whichever way you want. Get those wrists moving. And then change direction. And wiggle your fingers, give them a little shake. And we're going to start on our front, going into a cobra. So we're coming down onto our stomach. And all we're going to do is go into cobra and then into child's pose. If you want to give yourself a bit of a challenge, when you get up into your cobra, push into your toes rather than onto your knees. So we're pushing into our toes, lifting our knees, and then we're coming back into that child's pose without putting our knees on the floor, rolling all the way back over, back into that cobra. Otherwise, you keep your knees on the floor here, push that bum back all the way over into child's pose, and then pushing through, we're going to really roll our back all the way up and come back into that cobra position. Okay? So we're pushing up into that cobra position, nice big breath. Then we're going to go all the way back into that child's pose. Keep those knees off the floor, push into the floor with those hands. Up, roll that back all the way over your shoulders. And then drop back into that child's pose. Cobra. Good. And then the same again. Coming up. Sitting back, pushing those arms into the floor. And then rolling all the way up and over and dropping down. Okay, keep going. Nice work. Okay, and 1 more. Good job, and then we're going to just lower ourselves down onto our front. You all right, Dad?
Yeah.
Okay, and then we're going to come up into that cobra. Take 1 big breath in that position, and then we're going to twist our torso, pulling our shoulder back towards our our same side heel, looking all the way over. Get a nice stretch in there, big deep breaths. And then coming back to the middle. And then looking over the other side. And back to the middle. Okay, keep going, couple of breaths on each side. And then coming back to the centre. Good work. Keep working. Keep switching sides. Okay, if it starts to hurt in this position, come down onto your elbows so you're lowering that back, not putting it in such a hard arch. Okay, and one more on each side. And then we're going to come up onto our knees, keeping our knees quite far away from our hands. Okay, and we're going to go into our climber stretch. So from here, you're going to bring one foot up as close to your hand as you can, and then we're going to drop that hip down. If you can do this comfortably, lift that back leg up and then drop, trying to keep that back knee off the floor, back nice and strong, nice and flat. Good. And then you can either hold that position, bring that foot back with your knees off the floor, or you can lower your knee and then bring your knee back and then switch sides and lift. Keeping that back nice and strong, lowering those hips. Couple of breaths in that position and then switch sides. Nice work, keep going. Key two. Key two. Okay, and one more on each side. Okay. Nice work. And coming down onto our knees. Same stretch, but this time we're going to add in a T-spine. So if you don't want to bring your leg up and get into that slightly uncomfortable position, just in your tabletop, all we're going to do, taking our arm up, opening wide. Otherwise, you're bringing your foot up. The hand that's closest to your foot, okay, you let your hips drop forward. Hand that's closest to your foot comes up, opens into that nice big T-spine stretch. Hand comes down, and then we switch sides. So the hand that's closest to your foot is the one that we lift up and open up. Nice work. And we switch sides, just alternating. Nice big deep breath in that position. Keep it up, keep working. Good, and one more on each side. Okay, and staying on our hands and knees, just give your wrists a little stretch in the opposite direction from the way they've been bending for a while. So you can either do that fingers towards your body, fingers towards the middle, clench your fists a little bit. Okay, just give them a little move. We're going to do a little core exercise. Okay, so we want our knees below our hips, wrists below our shoulders, and all we're going to do, we're going to push into our toes, get that nice flat neutral back, so we're not arching this way and we're not pushing through either. So we've got it nice and neutral, our spine, our hip pelvis is in neutral, and all we're going to do, pushing through the floor with our toes, we're just going to lift our knees up off the floor a couple of inches, 5 nice big deep breaths, and then lower your knees, and then we're going to go again. Okay, trying to hold in that pelvic floor. Imagine you're trying to stop the flow of wee mid-flow. Okay, so we're going to Go up onto our knees, holding that position, still holding in that pelvic floor. 5 big deep breaths. And then we're dropping down. Control your breathing. Okay, your breathing should sort of make you shake a little bit because you're trying to work your core really nice and hard. Then you're going to go again, up onto our knees. And then we're going in 5 big breaths. Nice controlled breathing. And then we're dropping down. Okay, we're going to do one more of these. If you want to, you can go up on your knuckles. Okay, so you're like boxing the floor so it doesn't hurt your wrists. Okay, otherwise normal. Ready? Last one, driving through our toes, lifting those knees, nice big deep breaths. 5 big breaths. And then coming down. Okay, we're going to go into putting our elbows down on the floor, hands together. Okay, while you're doing this, you can give your wrists a little move about, get them feeling a little freer. So we're going to lock out our upper back. So we're pushing our elbows into the floor, pushing our spine away. And then all we're going to do is tuck and untuck our lower back. We're trying to just move our lower back, so we're really pushing our elbows into the floor, spine through our shoulder blades, and then we're tucking and untucking our lower back only. Nice work, keep going. Really keep that spine pushed up through those shoulder blades. Good job. Keep those shoulder blades pushed around your ribs, middle, back, push through. Tuck and untuck that pelvis. And 2 more. And then we're going to come back, sitting on our haunches. Okay. Or you can do it sitting on the floor with your legs apart, just because it might be more comfortable. Hands here. All right. Sitting on your haunches just locks out your lower back, or sitting on the floor locks out your lower back. Hands on the floor in front of you. Okay. And all we're going to do is drive our back away and pull our back through. All right, so if you're sitting on the floor, it should just be that upper back that's moving. Okay, nice work. Want to feel those shoulder blades moving around your ribs. Okay, trying to just move your body backwards and forwards. Keeping those shoulders away from your ears. Nice work. Good job, keep going. Controlling that breathing. And 2 more in each direction. Good, and then we're going to come up onto all fours. I'm just going to turn my bum to you, see if you can. And all we're going to do, get your spine nice and neutral, and then we're going to waggle our bum from side to side, trying to keep our torso nice and still. So our shoulders aren't moving, our shoulders are staying still, and our bum is coming from side to side, okay? So we're in this position, tailbone's tucked under slightly, and then we're pulling our hip up towards our ribs, but we're keeping our shoulders nice and still on the floor, getting that little sideways movement in that lower back, in that pelvis. Okay, and 2 more in each direction. And then we're going to do the same thing, same position, but we're going to go into a full arch in that cat-cow position. And then we're going to do the same movement. Okay, keeping that shoulder nice, those shoulders nice and still. Squeezing, pulling that pelvis up towards your ribs, but keeping your upper body as still as you can. And 2 more in each direction. And then we're going to go extreme all the way up, arching that back in that angry cow position. And then we're doing the same thing. This one's a little bit harder to keep those shoulders still, so smaller movement. Use that core, use those abs to pull that hip up towards your ribs, not your ribs down towards your hips. Keep breathing. Now 2 more each side. Nice work. Okay, coming down onto our back, we're going to do some sit-ups. Okay, just some normal sit-ups. But what we really want to focus on with these sit-ups is we're going to take our hands over our head to touch the floor behind us, which will lift our lower back up off the floor. As we lift our hands back up off the floor, we want to focus on squeezing that lower back down to the floor and then lifting our hands to lift us back up to touch our toes, and then we keep that back nice and arched all the way down, and then you let it relax when you put your hands behind you, okay? Most important is we're squeezing that lower back into the floor when we're trying to come all the way up as high as we can. So coming up to sitting, squeeze that back down, lift, touch your toes, lower each individual vertebrae, and then relax at the bottom, and then squeeze, coming up, keeping that core nice and engaged. Keep those ribs close to those hips until you get almost to the bottom. Good job, keep working. Squeeze that lower back into the floor, coming down nice and slowly. Really be conscious of getting that lower back into the floor each time you come up. And coming down nice and slow, nice and rounded. Nice work, keep it up. Okay, and 3 more of these. Resting there. What we're going to do is we're going to lie back. We're going to lift our shoulder blades off the floor, arms out beside us, shoulder blades come up, and we're going to bend around to touch our ankles. Okay, so we're trying to bring our shoulder blades up off the floor, and then we're bending around to touch our ankles. All right, 20, and then we'll do 3 rounds. 20, 3 times through. Ready? So we're squeezing that lower back into the floor, lifting our shoulder blades, and we're going in to 20 rotations. Once you've done 20, just have a little relax. Okay, get yourself ready. Round number 2, we're going to squeeze that lower back into the floor, lift those shoulder blades, and touch those ankles. Keep squeezing that lower back. And relax. Okay, we got one more round of those. Ready? Squeeze that lower back into the floor. Lift those shoulder blades and rotate.
Good boy. It's getting a bit stinky. Go smell it. Yeah, it's a bit stinky.
Good job. Rolling onto our side, legs out straight. Head can be resting on your arm in a model position, or lying on your arm, or if you've got a pillow or a yoga block, you can have your yoga block or pillow under your head. So we're going to roll our hips forward slightly, so they're about 45 degrees to the floor, and then we're going to do toes down, 10 abductor lifts. Then we're going to take 10 with toes up, and then we'll switch sides twice through. Ready? Toes down, 10 lifts. Keep those hips rolled forwards. Once you've done 10 with your toes down, toes up. Next. Still keeping those hips rolled forwards. And then switch sides, roll over. What is that train smell?
I don't know.
It's just so horrible. It's awful. Okay, remember, get those hips rolled forward, 45 degrees, and then we're going 10 lifts. Toes down first. And
You
then
nearly
the toes up.
You nearly finished.
Burn is real. Keep going, Susie. Come on, Dad. Good job.
Okay, I've done 10.
Good. Roll back over onto the other side. Twice through on each side. Oh, there's a horrid stench of drains in our house suddenly. When
From outside.
Katie's come back from work.
Oh, Cora! It's from outside.
Okay, once you've done 10 toes down, 10 toes up.
Oh, is it that shoe?
No, it shouldn't smell like rain.
Depot, leave it. Depot.
Switch sides. I don't know why I've got recording these with the disturbances that occur in my house. Last side.
You're recording?
Yeah. I always record.
Step it inside.
Okay. 10 toes up, 10 toes down, or vice versa. Zappy. Come on, Susie, keep going. Keep going. All the way. Finish, finish, finish.
Oh my good yard.
And resting if you finished. Oh, good one. Okay, rolling onto your back, figure of four stretch. Give those glutes a nice little stretch. Okay, pull that knee towards you. Roll over to the side. Good job.
Feet are so small.
Which side?
Onto your back. And then just pull that knee towards you, the one that your leg's resting on. Use your hands, Suze. Yeah, go around, pull it towards you. And then, if you want to make it stronger, lean over to the side of the leg you're holding slightly. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Nice, big, deep breaths in that position.
Hello, Zeppy. Hello, my boy.
Okay, and switch sides.
Hello, my boy. Oh, you took a girl.
Katie?
Yeah?
Shush, I'm recording and I don't want to edit all of it. Nice work, keep working, keep breathing. Really trying to push that knee out, get that really nice deep stretch. And relax. Okay, coming up onto our knees. You might want to roll your mat up a little bit so you've got a bit of cushioning under your knees. No, you should be fine. Oh, cut my head off. Let's take this up a little bit. Wish I could set the light to be that bright the whole time. Good, my head is just in the screen. Okay, so in this position, we're going to push our hips forward. So we're trying not to let our body lean back. We're trying to push our hips forward, round our back, and we're going to roll round to touch our heel on one side, and then we're coming back up to the middle, and then we're rolling round, touching that heel on the other side. But the most important thing is that we're pushing our hips forwards, okay? If you don't push your hips forwards, you're not going to give your back anything to do. So this is all about working that spine. If you put your toes on the floor, your heels are a little bit higher, so you don't have to reach as far, or your toes go flat. Just takes about 2 or 3 inches out of the distance, okay? So we're leaning forwards, letting our head drop back, rolling round to try and touch that same side heel, and then coming back. Push those hips forward, lean back your legs, and your quads shouldn't be working at all during this exercise. Your hip flexors should be getting a bit of a stretch. All right. Let's give you a good stretch there. Nice work. Keep going. If touching your heel is too easy, go to touch your toes further back. P2. Nice work. Keep going. Really trying to get nice rotation in that upper back. Good bend in that lower back.
What are these called?
I don't know, I call them heel touches. Kneeling heel touch. Good work. And one more on each side.
Nailed it.
Okay, next one we're going to do. You're going to have your toes on the floor if you want, or you can have your toes down. It's up to you. We're going to put our hands behind our head, and we're going to push our hips forward and arch back as far as you can go. I can't speak while pressing my lungs like that. And then we're going to we're going to hinge at the hips, push our hips back to our bottom, and we're going to round and bring our elbows in together. And then we're going to come up, open up, and then we're going to bend down, coming back to sit on our haunches. If you can't quite get all the way down onto your haunches, just go until you can't. Just go a tiny bit, but just get that rounding in your upper back before you come back to stretch out at the top. Okay, all the way down, nice big rounding. Opening up, nice and big. pushing those hips forward. That's it, good job. Coming back down, driving up. Nice work, really work on arching that upper back and then rounding that upper back and pushing that lower back backwards when you go to sit. Okay, really give that lower back a nice bit of relief. Pull your belly button into your lower back, pushing it backwards. Good job. Keep pushing, keep going. Nice work. And 2 more of these.
Steppo, leave that. Steppo. Steppo.
Okay. And then we're going to come on to all fours. And we're going to do something called bird dog. I'm not sure if I've done these before with you, but okay, can you just move off the mat for a sec while I do a demo, and then you can come back on and do them, because these will be good for you. All right, so on our hands and knees, we're going to take all the weight in one arm and one leg. Opposite arm, opposite leg. So we're going to kick 1 foot backwards, 1 foot forwards, keeping our torso as still as we can, and then bring it back, and then we're changing sides. Okay, what we need to really focus on is keeping that lower back nice and strong. So when we go into that extended position, we're not arching our lower back like this. We're keeping it nice and flat. Okay, you coming down? All right, so we're on our hands and knees. Opposite hand, opposite foot. Extending it out, keeping that lower back nice and straight. That could mean not lifting your leg very high off the floor. Okay?
This is really hard for me.
But really concentrate on keeping that lower back nice and flat. Use that core. Good job. Nice work. Keep breathing. Concentrate on that balance.
What's this called?
Bird dog. Good work. Keep breathing. No, not yet. And 1 more on each side. Okay, and then we're going to come up onto our feet. Final 2 exercises, 3 exercises. All right. So we're going to, don't quite have enough space in this room to have my head in it when I'm standing. All right, so we're going to do a scarecrow position like this. And then we're going to keep our arms in this position as if we've got a pole on either end. And we're going to bend forwards and touch towards our opposite foot. And then we're coming back up, down towards our opposite foot. And then back up, pushing those hips backwards. Okay, getting that nice bit of rotation. Stretching those hamstrings. Nice work, keep going. Not a chance. Just go as far as your tummy will let you.
I don't think it's my tummy. My everything else.
Nice work, keep going.
That's nice, that one. Do you keep your arms 180?
Trying to. It's quite hard to know that they're exactly 180. It's easier on one side than it is on the other side.
I'm wearing the wrong clothes.
And 1 more on each side. Okay. Then we're going to go into some windmills. So we're standing with our feet diagonally across our body. All right. One arm is up in the air, so we're kind of in that sort of, I don't know, rock and roll stance. Hand on the inside of our thigh. Legs are going to stay straight. We're pushing our hip backwards and we're rolling that hand down the inside of our front leg, keeping that arm straight above us, and then we're coming all the way back up to standing, staying on the same side. So the leg that's at the back is the hip that you're pushing backwards. So the arm that's up, you're pushing the hips backwards, coming down, keeping that arm straight up to the sky, and then we're coming back up.
Backwards that way? Or backwards sideways?
Diagonally. Okay, keep going. Oh, look at Mark go. Nailed it. Good job. Keep it up. And one more on this side. Good. And then switching sides, so just turning, feet diagonally facing the opposite direction. Hand on the inside of your thigh, arm up in the air. Ooh. And then we're coming down, pushing those hips back, hinging at your hips, coming as low as you can, squeezing, coming all the way back up. Good job. And again.
Much better this side.
Breathing out as you go down, squeezing those lungs. Coming up. Good job. Keep working. Very healthy and puffy. And one more on this side. Okay. And then finishing off with our elephant walks. Okay, so we're putting our hands on the floor or hands on the bench or hands on the sofa, elbows on the sofa, elbows on your ottoman. As long, if you cannot touch your toes with your hands flat on the floor, put your hands onto something, okay? So if you cannot get your hands flat on the floor, find something that gives you that little bit of extra distance. Okay, bending those knees, and then we're straightening and lengthening opposite leg. Okay, alternating legs. Really get a nice big stretch in there. Lifting your heel up if you want. Okay, keeping your hands as close to your feet as you can. Getting that nice big stretch all the way through that hamstring. Back of the knee, squeeze your kneecap, pull your kneecap up when you get to full extension. Okay, sometimes you'll feel it up into your bum, and other times all the way up into that lower back, because our hamstrings cause a lot of problems with back pain, knee pain, ankle problems, hip problems, bit of everything really. And 5 more on each leg. And then just straighten both legs. Hold still in that position. Nice big stretch. And relax. Give yourself a little shake.